All here is when everything comes together. It is taking a lot of complicated things, a lot of complex ideas, concepts, events, and experiences, and bringing them into something that makes sense as a sort of consolidation of randomness, multiplicity, into a sense of unification and something that is coherent, wholesome, when everything falls into this coherent base of full potential. All here is building this wholeness, a sort of completeness. It is an arrival. It is something full. Building the whole person. All here is not being distracted. All here is being fully present. When everything comes together, when it's all here. Well, here is a shift from fragmentation to consolidation. All here the arrival in all here was a culmination of a long quest. I was practicing different sorts of meditation traditions, looking in a lot of places, traveling all over the world, looking for different teachers, knowledge, know-how, scriptures, getting exposed to religions, to meditation practices, starting with the practice of Tai Chi, then shifting to the yoga practice, the physical practices, the body, the breathing practice, the pranayama. Then eventually meeting a teacher from India that has initiated me into the intellectual know-how of yoga and into the Raja Yoga, the meditation part of yoga. So I traveled across Asia, particularly India, from India to China to the Far East, trying different methods, techniques, practices, learning, understanding, going to mountains, sitting in meditation, in forests, in caves, traversing Indian continent from east to west, from north to south, running around the Himalayas, learning about Buddhism, the Vedic practices, but continuing for a long time from the beginning to practice the Tai Chi that has really influenced my practice a lot, and that has enhanced the yoga practice, particularly with the addition of the dantian, the center of gravity, that has made my yoga practice more energetic, even more grounded on the path towards self-absorption. And the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali served as the intellectual guide, the know-how in understanding. And why the Yoga Sutra? Because it is something that shifts you from distractions towards being present and towards this one-pointedness and one directionality. So after studying, meditating for a long time, trying different things and different yoga styles, at some point that quest came to a halt, where I've had certain experiences that has brought me to the end of the pursuit. And at the end of the pursuit, without knowing that it was the end, that in that state of falling back on yourself after trying so many different things and absorbing into my own being that is not distracted into 1,000 things. In this state of consolidation and not running around and looking in different places, but actually falling back on my original base, consolidating onto itself. This is something that was the culmination of that long journey. And by not looking over there, not looking from some teacher or some people, to finally fall back on yourself and not going anywhere, just by being here within me, in this very natural state of not going and not doing, I have arrived that all is here, and that there is no need to look over there or from another person. That this sensation has given this sense of clarity and a sense of fulfillment, because something was missing there, that missing was because the being is distracted into so many things. But when it all comes back, you fill up your internal glass, then in this state of fullness, the clarity has arrived. And that was the culmination of the quest, at which point all here was reached. To the sort of stopping to look over there. That it's bringing from being distracted and looking all over the world, all over the place, that you don't actually have to go very far. This how to bring all of this to its own potential. And in this falling back on your own center, your own presence in its depths. This is where I found that all is right here. And before I was away, I was dreaming of far away, looking far away. Dream no more of far away. It is all here. And from here, once you have it, then you can go everywhere. It is like finding a home inside you. And once you have this home inside you, then you feel at home everywhere. Because you bring your home with you. And wherever you go, you feel at home. You bring all here, everywhere. How would you describe your practice? As you can imagine, we live in this world with a lot of objects around us and with a lot of thoughts happening all the time. The principle of building a good practice is bringing your attention from being dispersed into 1,000 things. And first start focusing your attention onto one direction. This is why meditation practice is needed as this training. In the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, meditation is defined as the one directionality of thought. So when we start from a lot of objects and a lot of thoughts, you channel your attention onto one object and continue this one directionality of thought. And then becoming one with your object of meditation, this unity is the principle of meditative approach. So our practice is centered on moving from multiplicity to the singularity, from a lot of things to a unification. This is how we move from a lot of objects and a lot of thoughts into oneness and unification. So all the disturbances, they start to fall off, and the attention, emotional potential, physical potential, they all coming together into an experience of oneness. And that's how our practice is structured, around moving from a lot of objects and a lot of thoughts into this singularity of being. Through this, we achieve a mind that is not distracted and is not disturbed. And we call this consolidation of multiplicity into a unity. We call this experience as the silence of the mind, a silent mind. So our practice is aimed at and built around achieving this silence of the mind. Is about moving from multiplicity to unity. So at all here, our meditation organization, we are developing and proposing a practice that is centered around moving towards this singularity and achieving the silence of the mind. We have 3 different pillars. As a meditation-centric organization focused on 3 pillars: on the practice, on the scientific research of how the mind moves from distractions and a lot of wandering towards first being focused, developing the focal attention, the presence without distractions, and becoming one, becoming in union with your whole being. And we use the technology such as the brain imaging technology, brain-computer interfaces. We also use innovative approach of using virtual reality and experiential reality in order to create experiences as well as track and provide tools to practitioner and to scientific research in tracking, understanding, and developing experiences around the meditative practice that I have described. What is silence? Silence is the force that is pushing us to live. From the moment you are born until the moment that you're out of this life, you may spend this 40, 60, 80, 100 years of life moving around throughout the life journey doing a lot of things, but may never actually spend even 1 minute in true inner silence. Why? Because you're moving around in circles, and it is not easy to stop and go to the center. It has a certain force, a very strong, energetic, repellent almost, that to go there, it is not easy, because it is this sort of superpower, the super energetic force that is living inside you, that is pushing you to live. So you may be constantly moving around it, but never actually experience it, because it is the very base, the core of your existence that is pushing you to live. In order to go to this place, it requires a lot of will, determination, and practice, and a lot of effort. So silence is this energy field that is pushing us to do everything in life. It is the super force and the superpower inside you. That's the nature of silence. The silent mind. It is when all the distractions of the mind disappear. You can imagine in our daily life, attention is spread out into 1,000 things. Our emotions are running in different places. The body is doing its own thing. The silent mind is when the attentional, emotional, and physical come back from expressing itself into so many things and absorbing back onto oneness. The shift from multiplicity to unity. It's a sort of self-absorption. Of the potential that is being dispersed into so many things that collects itself back into a super consolidation. And in this collected state of consolidation, it becomes something that has this character of fullness. It is not nothingness. It is actually everythingness. Because everything comes together. It becomes so unified that it becomes dense. It is not something that is still, but consolidated and coherent. When all of this comes together into the unity, it becomes very energetic. And as this potential continues to come onto itself and become self-absorbed and dense, this potential of everything coming onto a consolidation becomes something very energetic. And at some point it grows into as so many things are superimposed into a oneness of this potential there comes a tipping point when this consolidated existence starts to expand. So if in the beginning of the silent mind we're working on reducing distractions, coming back onto its own base, then we reach this potential and a potential of where everything is together. This becomes a point of transition and a transformation where you go from something that is consolidated into energetic expansion, something that expands you from within, energizes you. Then moves you into an energetic expansion that is coherent, it is taking all this inefficient spending of energy into consolidation and transforming that inefficient burning of energy into a very efficient, a super efficient system where you consolidate your energy, your potential, and from here you energize and you expand from within, but in a coordinated and a coherent fashion. Such is the nature of the silent mind and its transformative potential. It transforms inefficient energy into a super efficient potential consolidation and coherent expression. Why should we practice it? Because we want to bring our potential back to ourselves instead of spending it so inefficiently. Unnecessarily, we bring our self-capital into our own base and we come back to our full potential that is within us. Silent mind is the gateway to understanding everything, because this is how the world functions. When we start shifting from multiplicity to singularity, we find many similarities in the silent mind and the structure of the universe. that is also organized in such a fashion that there is a center in a galaxy that pulls everything together. And in the center of that is this consolidation that becomes the most energetic place in any given galaxy. Similarly, the silent mind has this characteristic of a center that is full of potential, that is bringing us together into this consolidated state of energy, and from where we expand. So at first we reduce, we remove, and we return to the base. We consolidate our potential, and as this potential becomes full, then it expresses all by itself and becomes the transformation towards expansion. Silence is something that exists everywhere. And through the silent mind, and its energetic potential, we can bring this and open up this energetic field anywhere. Silence of the mind is this gateway to something that exists everywhere. We can take it from this place that exists inside you and be connected in 1,000 things that are out there. You can be in 1,000 different places, and you can make the energy run super efficiently in any place and open that energetic connection anywhere. So you go from one thing, you go to 1,000 things. If in the beginning we go from multitude of things to a singularity and oneness, then from oneness we can go back to multiplicity of things, but we bring this connection to energetic transformation and transform energy into coherent flow in any place, anywhere. It is also something that is a unified experience for any human being. Through this, it is something where we can exist and interconnect with all human beings through one universal experience. Silence is one such universal characteristics that would be the same kind of experience through which we can all connect. Through this, we can experience the unity, the interconnectedness, the universality of all human beings on Earth. From multiplicity to unity, and from unity to coherent multiplicity between all human beings and all things, because this transformation of energy would be possible in any place, anywhere, in this coherent and unified fashion. From a lot of things to one thing, and from one to many. Whereas one to many brings the expression of full potential to all this multitude of things out there. This is why we should practice the silent mind. Meditation is about two things compared to religion and spirituality, and the difference between them is meditation is the know-how. It is not a belief system. And meditation is about experience, your direct perception. It is something that comes from within. It is not something that you spend your life believing in something out there, but it is something that is in you. And it is the know-how. There are definitely similar characteristics in a sense of both vouch for a certain practice. Just meditation is not about believing in something that is out there. It is a system of experience, fulfillment, where you have the know-how how to make your existence full. Otherwise, you have some empty holes inside you. Then you start believing in things and longing for things that are out there in order to fill your empty holes inside you. Meditation is a shift from belief to a self-fulfillment. It is perhaps something that can help bring all religions together, all spirituality together, because we, in meditation, practice the experience of oneness with everything. It is basically a friendly practice to all forms of religion and spirituality, removing barriers, being human, and utilizing this human practice to sense, to experience something directly that is within you. A basic human approach of bringing everything together, coming into this sense of unity. Meditation as a way how to bring all things together. Unity, non-division, from multiplicity to unification, from fragmentation to consolidation. So meditation is a friend of every religion and every spirituality. Just it becomes not important because you can find everything within you. You can arrive at the sense of unity and oneness. Meditation works to achieve lucidity, clarity of consciousness. In which everything becomes one. There's no difference what things are called. Meditation aims at unity, at oneness, whatever things are called. Everything becomes one. Such is the aim of meditation. everything coming together, non-duality, non-multiplicity, a complete unification. That sounds like a good deal. Yeah, thank you.